From here, from this passive position, we then get a little more active. So all you're going to do, Mike, is you're going to lift up that back knee into a rear foot elevated split squat position. So we're actually going to encourage you to shift that weight back.
Ooh.
And you should feel that right away in the front part of your the front butt, I guess is what we call
front
it.
Front butt. Shout out to Gary Gray. What we got, Coach?
Yeah, Mike, we'll take you through a hip extension series. The way we approach it, we start passive and move to active, and we isolate to then integrate. So what we'll do is we're going to start just in a passive hip extension stretch. Yeah. We like the classic couch stretch. So I'll have you do a half knee length position with your foot on top of the bench.
This man has bars.
A few tweaks with this based on the athlete's mobility. We may either raise their knee up or drop the height of this down depending on how much range they actually have.
Got you.
The word we use is melt. So we encourage guys to relax and melt into this position.
Breathe, I'm assuming, has a big part of this.
Like we always say, the brain always wins. So if you're fighting this position with your brain and you're excited to get out of the position, it's probably a little too much. From here, from this passive position, we then get a little more active. So all you're going to do, Mike, is you're going to lift up that back knee into a rear foot elevated split squat position. So we're actually going to encourage you to shift that weight back.
Ooh.
And you should feel that right away in the front part of your the front butt, I guess is what we call
it. Front butt.
Pelvis positioning matters quite a bit. So if you go into a posterior pelvic tilt, you'll feel that quite a bit more on that side. Yeah. We'll have guys rock back and forth, right? Yes. So we encourage some autonomy with our athletes and adding their own little flavor to it and distributing the weight forward where they might not feel that hip extension as much. And then as they lean back, they'll feel that right away.
Yeah, because that gets pretty arduous in terms of like the intensity there. I feel like I'm working more than I'm stretching.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're the hip flexors, or getting into that hip extension position, there's a lot of tension going through those hip flexors. And so we know with tension, oftentimes can create increased ranges of motion.
Absolutely.
So tensioning the muscle and allowing it to access greater ranges.
So this is definitely tensing. Where are we at next?
No, my bad. You can relax. So now let's integrate a little bit. One of our favorites is just a forward and backward lunge. Okay. Adding an upper extremity driver, either in the frontal plane or the transverse plane.
Perfect. So I'm here with it.
Yep. Exactly. So it's a frontal plane, upper extremity driver. Again, lengthening this whole functional line or lateral line.
I can come across in transverse?
Yep, exactly. So now we're integrating more of a multi-segmental movement, but still targeting that hip extension via adding that upper extremity driver in certain directions.
One of the key terms that I heard you say that I love is autonomy. Why? Why do we want autonomy for our athletes?
Yeah, good question, man. I mean, the way I look at it is we have an idea of what the athlete needs each day, but at the same time, they know their own body. They know themselves.
That's right.
And so we encourage them to explore movement and tinker with movement to say, hey man, take ownership of this.
Absolutely.
Figure out what you need, work through some of those nooks and crannies. And if something feels good and feel like you need it one day, let's stick with that.
Absolutely.
Because the next day you might need something else.
Because it's not about us, it's about them.
Yeah, exactly.
What we got next, Coach?
We'll have you assume a supine position on the bench. And essentially it's a single leg hip thrust or an end range isometric into hip extension. We'll take a look at the athlete's pelvis position. If they can't get into that nice posterior pelvic tilt, their foot comes off the ground, we'll actually raise this foot up to make it a little more accessible for them. Because a lot of athletes are going to be stuck here.
Yep.
They don't have as much range as Mike has. And so what we'll do, Mike, is we'll just do one leg at a time. So lift the other leg off the ground. And for 5 seconds, all you're gonna do is flatten that back and try to drive your hips up to the ceiling or drive your foot into the ground.
Yes, sir. Let's see what we got. Ready?
Yep. Go ahead.
Hey!
5, 4,
hit save, hit
3,
save, hit save.
2, 1, rest.
Boom. Now I got mobile hips.
Love it.
Coach Trent, appreciate you, brother. GBG.